I ultimately think that everyone should be figuring out what it is that they uniquely do best, that aligns with who they are fundamentally, and that gives them authenticity, that brings them specific knowledge, that gives them competitive advantage, that makes them irreplaceable, and they should just lean into that. And sometimes you don't know what that is until you do it. So this is life lived in the arena. You're not going to know your own specific knowledge until you act, and until you act in a variety of difficult situations. And then you will either realize, oh, I managed to navigate through these things that other people would have had a hard time with, or someone else will point out to you. They'll say, hey, your superpower seems to be X. I have a friend who has been an entrepreneur a bunch of times, and what I always notice about him is that he may not necessarily be the most clever or the most technical, and he's very hardworking. That's why I don't want to say he's in the hardworking. He's actually super hardworking. But what I do notice is he's the most courageous. So he just does not care what's in the way. Nothing gets him down. He's always laughing or smiling. He's always moving through it. And this is the kind of guy that 100 years ago, you would have said, oh, he's the most courageous. Go charge that machine gun nest. He would have been good for that. But in an entrepreneurship context, he's the one who can keep beating his head against the sales wall and just calling hundreds of people until finally one person says yes. So he'll call 400 people and get 399 no's, and he's fine with one yes, and that's enough. Then he can start iterating and learning from there. So that's his specific knowledge. It is knowledge. It's a capability that he knows that he's okay with it. There's an outcome on the other side that he's willing to go for. And that's a superpower. Now, maybe if he can develop that a little further or combine it with something else, or maybe even just apply it where it's needed, that makes him somewhat irreplaceable. And so you find your specific knowledge through action, by doing. And when you are working for yourself, you will also naturally tend to pick things and do things in a way that aligns with who you are and what your specific knowledge is. For example, if you look at marketing, marketing is an open problem. People try to solve marketing in different ways. Some people will create videos, some people will write or tweet, some people will literally stand outside with a sandwich board, some people will go make a whole bunch of friends and just throw parties and spread by word of mouth. Now, it may be the case that for your business, one of those is much better than others, but the most important thing is picking a business that is congruent with whichever one you like to do. So, for example, I have a lot of friends approach me and say, hey, let's start a podcast together. And I'm like, do you genuinely enjoy talking a lot? Because if you don't, you're not going to enjoy the parts of the podcasting. You're not going to be the best at it. They're just trying to market. And so they start a podcast, they do 2 or 3 episodes, and then eventually they drop off. They drop off because, firstly, they don't enjoy podcasting. I don't mean like enjoy a little bit. You have to enjoy it a lot. If you're going to be the top at it, you have to be almost psychopathic at the level at which you enjoy the thing. And so they'll record a few episodes, and then their readers or their listeners will pick up on, actually, this person's just asking a bunch of questions and doesn't seem to really enjoy it and is doing the podcast equivalent of looking at their watch. Whereas someone like Joe Rogan, he's so immersed, he's so into talking to all these weird people that he has on his podcast that the guy would be doing it even if he had no audience. And he was doing it when he had no audience, when he was on Ustream with just him and live streaming late at night on one random website. It's no coincidence he's the top podcaster. So when you're marketing, you want to lean into your specific knowledge and into yourself. If you enjoy talking, then try podcasting. Maybe you enjoy talking in a more conversational tone, in which case you try a live network like a Twitter Spaces. Maybe you enjoy writing. If you like long-form writing, Substack. If you like short-form writing, X. If you like really long-form writing, then maybe a bunch of blog posts that turn into a book. If you enjoy making videos, then maybe you use one of the latest AI models and you make some video and you overlay onto it. But you have to do what is very natural to you. And part of the trick is picking a business where the thing that is natural to you lines up nicely, or picking a role within that business, or picking a co-founder in that business. It is a fit problem. It is a matching problem. And the good news is, in the modern world, there are unlimited opportunities. There are unlimited people. There are unlimited venues. There are unlimited forms of media. There's just an unlimited set of things to choose from. So how are you going to find the thing that you're really good at? You're going to try everything, and you're going to try everything because you're going to do. You're going to be in the arena. You're going to be trying to tackle and solve problems. So the first time you do it, you might do a whole bunch of things you don't enjoy doing, and you may not do them well, but eventually you'll hone down on the thing that you really like to do, and then you'll hopefully find that fit.